as a child, in my case, as a musician, right? Musically, say, inspired. I was naturally protecting myself with the music, so I see music as a protection. Not just entertainment, but as protection. Mm-hmm. So that the music generates its own spirit, in a sense. And coming from a drum culture, that's a very distinct and very powerful spirit. It's more native practice. Mm-hmm. And in my family, what I had with the men is about music. With the female is about the spiritual. Okay. And so the spiritual was coming through the women more, and the sort of expressive, artistic was coming through the men. In my case, could be different from. And so I had the women influencing me because they said I had el fluido, I had the fluid that they need, the spiritualists need to work with in order to manifest the spirits and create phenomena or intercommunicate in a certain way with them. However, I did lend myself to that because I was open to them because they were also the wisdom peeps. The women had their circle of influence, but they were interested in the wisdom and they talked to us relative to wisdom. What is good, what is bad, morality training and let's say goodness, wisdom, being good, conversations about being good and what kind of spirit you should be or could be and what not to be and so on and so forth. The men were just about, doing your thing, right? Working, getting out there, leaving the family, going out and going forward and being a musician or whatever you're intended to be. So I had both influences, and as much as I received beautiful support from the women, psychics as they were, mediums as they were, in some cases sleeping mediums, and my purpose was to remain conscious as a medium for my work, and that would be including using music and so on. And so we were saying that they wanted me to be one of them. They were pulling me into their circle of influence. I would say music, and they'd say, no, it's spiritual. It's spiritual, And I'd say, no, musica. For me, it's playing. I said, no, it's like, okay, but you can't have just one. You had to have both. I said, yeah, fair enough. So I think that because of the musical spirit here, that dictated to the other spirit. But now they're one. But the music was the stronger of the forces because I used, or it was given to me. I don't want to say it's all ego. No, I was given the music to protect myself from the violence and the darkness around me, the anger and the suffering around me. Because I always felt better, which is what music's for, when I was playing. Always, I felt beyond everything when I was playing. An advantage when you're playing as a child, you actually can rise higher. So you can feel the heavens as a child in a certain way. It's unique. Right. See, so there we have the issue of there being the spiritual spirits, and then the musical spirits, which can sometimes be stronger. And so with that in mind, we want to make sure that the musical spirits are in the mode of goodness and bringing healing instead of just playing for money, and which is not bad, but we need healing. The individuals need healing. We need to be nourished by the spiritual, regardless of whether we're musicians or scientists or whatever you have. See? Comment?
So there's a way where you could balance those two forces, but so for an individual, is that really what it's about? It's about balancing those forces for anybody?
Knowing how to use them to your advantage. So you have spiritual, let's say, nourishment, and let's say, if possible, a strong moral core, where you want to create good, so you have to be good to create good. And sometimes with certain occupations, you are taken into both the good, the bad, and the very ugly in some cases. And you have to know where you begin or end, otherwise you're going to be influenced or swept away by it, as many musicians are. It becomes self-destructive. But not only musicians, I'm speaking as a musician, because that was very obvious to me. Beautiful, profession and occupation, right? Native to all of us as spirits. The sound and the melodies and the songs and the power of music, no doubt. See? Emotion, highest emotions, right? Angelic choirs, right? The music of the spheres. Right? It's all about the sound. And whether or not that's a positive influence depends on the blood karma that you're working from. And if you're strong enough spiritually, then despite your blood karma, you can continue to be spiritual. Then it depends on who you associate with. So, association with the spiritual, when you are otherwise determined to be a materialistic person, it's good practice.